Yo, what's good, everybody out there? We here, we in the building, and we got my boy and my girl over here, Raw and Nina. What's up with y'all? How y'all feeling?
What's up, fam? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so we out here recording a little, like, interview podcast kind of feel. You know, don't really know what to call this besides, like, the Raw and Nina interview.
I like it.
That's about it,
like
you know?
the experience.
That's all I got. What are you guys doing over here in Sioux City?
I actually had a doctor's appointment. Had to come through, and then I hit you up, and I was like, yo, let's rock this out.
What's some of the things that y'all, like, have been doing recently? Because I know you guys had a big old year last year, too.
Yeah,
so it's
2021 was a hard year to beat. We did a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, so 2022 is going to be hard to push, but I think we have some things in store coming up.
What do you guys been working on so far? Like, ending off the year and shit?
Finishing off our weddings.
Oh, yeah?
We do weddings once in a while.
Crazy season.
And we had a busy season, so just kind of getting all that back to the people.
I haven't done a wedding yet.
Oh,
really?
bro.
Yeah.
Dude, it's stressful.
What's some advice that, like, someone out there could look for?
The best advice someone ever gave me is the best way to shoot a wedding is to not shoot a wedding.
No, I would say just be prepared for literally anything to happen. At weddings, really? I literally had to, like, get a sewing kit and, like, sew the groom's crotch area because his pants ripped. I've had to help people screaming at each other. Like, literally the list goes on for that. Weddings can be hectic.
Dang.
But
did you get extra money at the end or no?
No, unfortunately, it just comes with the package price.
Yeah, so weddings, bro, I try to do the other stuff.
See,
the cool stuff.
That's the big thing, too, is, like, when you're working with people out in the field, like, in this kind of field of, like, work, it's like you're kind of like maintaining their like happiness or like their chill, you know, because if you're like if you're a photographer, you kind of need the person to be calm. You kind of need them like relax, you know?
Yeah.
So you're kind of playing with like the emotions and you're kind of like trying to match their energy at like that point, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I remember like the first time that I met you guys, we go way back. I think it was like 18. I think it was 2018 or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
It was like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, because I think I shot. That was definitely the first year I made my Instagram for the NASTYCO account. NASTYCO was a thing before that, but I think it was like that year was like officially the year that I was like starting to do photography and stuff like that. And then I hooked up with you guys, and I was like, you know what? Let me shoot my shot. I was like, let me see what they got to tell me, you know, put me on game and everything. So I went out, and I think I just hit you guys up on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That or Instagram.
I remember when we went and we shot pictures in the alley and stuff.
Yeah, we shot those alley pictures.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I still got those pictures, and like I even tried a whole new style with like even editing like faces and stuff like that too, and like really like looking at like the skin and how it's like, you know, after that it was really like on some like, okay, let me look at how like this person is like really close up, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Like I
sure.
really got detailed, and then you guys gave me some advice that I should be shooting on a 50 millimeter. And then right after that, I bought myself a 50 millimeter prime.
Nice.
Like, bro, it was that for me, and I mastered that motherfucker. So now, you know.
Now it's time for the next
Much
one.
respect to y'all, for real.
Now time for the 24.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
24.
Oh, shit.
I shouldn't be telling the secret to everybody, but...
24 1.4.
24 1.4 is a game changer.
Once you get that one, you'll hate the 50.
Yeah, because then you'll be like, oh my god, they're so cropped.
Now I want to go wider. Now I'm like, I need a 16, a 14.
Yeah. I like shooting hella wide.
See, you guys talk about, like, photography very passionately, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does even photography mean to you guys? What is it about, like, taking photos that... like makes you want to do this as like a passion or like as like a career or whatever you guys are trying to accomplish, you know?
You want to go first?
I don't really know. Honestly, I think photography, I never really planned for it to be anything in my future. I liked I started out kind of taking pictures of my friends literally on my phone. I would just be at my house chilling, and I'd be like, oh my god, you look really good in this position. I'm going to put this like random scarf on you, smoke this cigarette, whatever. Okay. And then my friend Tawny was like, dude, you need to just buy a camera because you can't keep taking pictures of me on your iPhone 4. Like,
what was the first camera?
It was like a Nikon, what was it? Do you remember what it was? It was...
The E5300?
That was yours, but I can't remember. I think mine was like a 7500. I can't remember. It was like a $300 one from Best Buy.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what happened to your first camera?
I think we still have them in the closet.
Yeah.
We just haven't looked at them in years.
Yeah, I definitely thought about selling mine a couple times.
Me too. We did too.
I was like, nah, I can't, man. That's the first camera, you know?
Yeah,
we
couldn't do it.
Ours.
Yeah.
You guys had that debate too with yourselves?
Mm-hmm. We're going to put it probably in a shadow box or something random.
Yeah, definitely. Get the dust off of it and everything like that. So then, like, after you got that first camera, what was the next intention? Like, where to go from there?
I ended up liking it so much that I did a couple college courses at my local college, just like learning about photography, because I got it, and then I'm like, okay, how do I turn it on? Like, I'm like, how do you use this thing? So
you went from the basics, huh?
Yeah. So then when I did the college thing, it kind of taught me, how to shoot manual and like, just the general, like, technical stuff about the photography. But then when I met Jason is when I actually learned how to shoot a good photo, because when we first got together, I was super heavy on the foreground for some reason. Like, the person, the top of their head would be at the, the top frame, and then there's, like, a lot of, like, ground. So Jason would have to be like, dude, chill on the foreground.
I was like, why are you shooting 8 yards in front of him? Like, what is that space for?
I was really into the depth of field idea at the time, but Jason kind of helped me change the way that I framed my photos and the way that I edited my photos. So I had already kind of had a little bit of a style of editing, but I wasn't good at all yet. I was just kind of learning the basics on how to do things. I didn't really do any scan retouching or anything like you were talking about before I met Jason, and then he kind of showed me his style, put it together, and combined it and expanded it, and then he also taught me how to shoot and frame the photos more. So then it kind of took off. Okay. And then now we've kind of just been full-time running. I never expected it to happen or planned at all. It was kind of just happened.
What about you, man? It's easy. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of credit going right back to you. You know what I mean? So it sounds like we know who the photographer is in this year. We know who the photographer is. The same photographer is here. So it's like, how'd you get into it?
So mine's actually a pretty crazy story. So I was in college. I played baseball.
Right.
And one day I got stomach cramps, and I'm like, that's weird. So I go to the hospital, and they're like, oh, you got this thing called ulcerative colitis. And I was like, what is that? And they tell me, and I'm like, whatever. So I go home for the summer. I'm sicker than a dog.
Okay.
I was in the hospital. So
it's pretty bad.
Yeah. So when I checked into the hospital, I was there for like 2 to 3 months. Like, I didn't leave. And then
damn.
Yeah, so
fuck the hospital for real. Like, being there, I know that feeling. That's just laying in that fucking bed.
And then I hallucinated. It was a whole story.
Yeah.
But
I can't even look at broth. Fuck broth. You ever had broth?
Broth. I want to.
Yeah, I don't fuck with broth over in the hospital, and be real.
No, but yeah. So then so I got sick, and then I had a buddy in my communications class, and he was like, "Yo, since you're not like playing ball right now, you want to film me a music video?" And I was like,
what the fuck? Okay,
why not? This was out of nowhere. And I was like, he's like, I'll pay you. And I was like, really? I don't have a camera. And he's like, oh, my buddy
doesn't have a camera.
He's like, he picked the first person he saw. He's like, man, let's do it.
Just like, that kid I'm having film.
Yeah.
So then
all right, man.
He had a buddy who we borrowed his camera. Worst video probably ever made. We didn't stitch it together or anything. It was so bad. We couldn't figure out how to work the thing. Yeah, but like holding that camera felt dope. So when I went home for the summer, I used some PayPal credit, got a camera, went around everywhere, took pictures, watched tons of YouTube. So I was at home for 2 years after that. From my illness, I couldn't leave the house.
Dang. So I would right around again.
Yeah. So I had to drop out of college after my 5th year already.
What's that like? So I don't know if you even want to get into it that deep, but like, what's that kind of like feeling that you're feeling when you are sick?
Oh, it's horrible. You just feel like you want to die. You have like crazy stomach pains. You lose a lot of blood.
Damn.
Sometimes you have to get blood infusions, and I have to now do an infusion treatment every 8 weeks for 2 hours the rest of my life.
Wow, man.
Like,
fucking
that'll never... And I don't even know what's
bro.
in the, stuff, know? Like, they're just pumping it in me.
You're just like, well, this will help, right?
Yeah, and I'm sitting around a bunch of other sick people. They got some other types of stuff, and I'm just like...
Is that really humbling, do you think? Like,
yeah, it's weird because, like, if I didn't get sick, I wouldn't get into photography or what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Makes
so,
sense.
like, basically, because that day my friend Mike was like, yo, film me this video, and I touched that camera, I was like, holy shit. And then started getting some, like, I was into GoPro cameras.
Man.
And
GoPro,
so I got shouted out on GoPro's page one time, gained a bunch of followers.
Damn, look at the boy. Look at him go.
Yeah, right.
That's what's up.
And then the picture started getting better and better, and then my first real big break was when my friend Brandon was having the Migos come to town.
Damn.
And I didn't know Brandon at the time. And he must have found my Instagram, and he's like, hey, can you shout out the concert? And I was like, yeah, if you let me come shoot the concert. And that
was just because you had a big following, right?
Yeah, that was just because of the following. Wow. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And then now me and him are lifelong friends. You know, that Migos concert really, like, put me on the map. And then we started doing crazier shit and crazier stuff. And now we're at today, which is nice. Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. What a fucking journey. And just from picking up a camera. So did you, like, are you self-taught, would you say?
Yeah. So when I was home for those 2 years by myself, I just watched YouTube nonstop.
Oh, okay,
I think I was like...
YouTube University.
I was like...
that's how everybody does it. That's what you gotta do.
YouTube University. I was on when I was like 22 to 24, I think.
Okay.
Was when I was in... excuse me, when I was in that house. And it was in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. Like, cornfields. My neighbor was a mile away.
Damn.
You know, so I'm just walking this random cornfield / like weird area, farmland, taking pictures of anything, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking a picture of this. How come I can't get that part in focus? Right. And this part is in focus. How do I get it all in focus?
Right.
So then I had to watch tons of YouTube about aperture and bumping your aperture and lowering your ISO and you know, all that stuff.
Curiosity, man.
And so really YouTube, YouTube really helped me, especially like the Peter McKinnon videos.
Oh, everybody has watched that one.
Oh yeah,
dude,
he saves me on the daily.
He's definitely an OG that needs to be respected a little more.
100%.
Like a little more exposed out here.
He's the blueprint, basically. You know how many people like copy him on YouTube now too? It's crazy.
Yeah, because we're over here watching the game. You know, we're over here watching like people really put us on, but it's like he's like he dialed in and did it by himself. You know, like he really like he had that same question or something like that. Like he really thought about it, and I feel like he just like went about it as like, let me figure that out right now. You know, instead of like researching it, he just went like right into it. And he was like, you know what, this is what I probably have to do with this and this.
Right.
You know, and that's crazy to me to think that like there's people really out here just like creative ass minds just snap and then they have a whole idea in front of them, and you see some like really nice photographers, and a lot of the photography is because of like the setup before. Is why it's so nice, you know. It's like really thinking that out and not just taking the photo for the photo. You know,
100%.
That's what we're trying to do here, man. We're trying to like we got a couple shoots here. We're booked this whole weekend.
Nice.
And you know that's always a good feeling to feel. So it's like just trying to like get everything in order is like the biggest struggle right now, you know. But that's a good struggle to have, you know.
It is a good struggle for sure.
Yeah. So, like, that's how we've been, you know, because, like, my whole career, it's been just straight YouTube as well, and nobody really taught me like that. Like, I went to school for graphic design.
Oh, dope.
But I dropped out first year. So
I dropped out first class in graphic design in college.
Oh, damn.
It was
too
we
didn't
strict,
make it.
Bro. It was
look where we're at. Motherfucker. You watching us. Not the other way around.
Didn't even graduate.
I know. We definitely dropouts. But it was like, that class was cool and all. It's just that I thought to myself that if I was going to go to school, it had to be an art school, you know? It had to be where 100%. There was other kids that were advanced too, and I was like watching them and like, shit, all right, you teach me how you just did that, you know?
Right.
But in the school I went to, it was more like everybody did their own thing. They were very standoffish, which and when they were in the community thing, that's cool. But to me, it just felt like I wasn't learning what I wanted to learn, you know?
Right.
And like at the pace I wanted to learn it at. So I was like, I just need to go by myself, and that's what I did. And you know, we're here
trying to make biscuit.
At this point, it's just like if I can get enough money from this career, from this like passion, to pay all my bills off evenly, and not even to make the profit, but just to pay everything off evenly, then I'm going for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I definitely will like drop everything and just go for it because, I feel like my life is too short to be living working for another person. But it's not that it's bad, because I don't want to disrespect the whole fucking world out there, because we all out here working, you know?
Right.
But I just think that my path isn't that direction. And I don't know. I think that's why I do what I do, because I think about generational wealth a lot and how I want to build up my family. And I think about my family members and I'm like, will any of them make $1 million? And I'm like thinking, maybe, but it'll have to be off of some like really good business idea, you know, where they're like either being a cook or like just something that like you really, really, really have to work hard in, you know? Right. You really have to build it up. But I feel like in order to, like if I look around and I be honest with myself, I think I'm the only one that has a chance in my family, out of my family members, to make $1 million at the end of this year.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's possible. In our field, it's so possible that, like, you really could blow up that fucking big and, like, manage yourself and, like, really market it down to, a strategy. Like, I mean, Nina over here putting me on game on how to, like, upload a TikTok and everything. Like, you're really out here doing all that. Like, why even do all, like, why even make it a strategy to do it? Like, what made you even want to, like, study that and, like, you know, study the game of, like, social media, really?
So, I would have to say, honestly, that, like, I don't know. I kind of started Instagram and stuff late, like, I guess. I had one a long time ago, but then I ended up being in an abusive relationship where the significant other wasn't interested in me having social media. So I was off social media for, like, 6 years because I was in that situation. And then about a year before I met Jason, I kind of got, like, myself distanced a little bit, and I started using social media. And I thought I wanted to use it because I'd already gotten the camera and a little bit starting. And I was like, I want to start the Instagram specifically to post my photography. Like, I don't want to just post it for fun. Like, at first it wasn't like, I don't really care to post my life. Like, I was like, I don't really care to post anything personal. Like, I just want to share my work, and then that's all. Get off my phone. Like, I didn't really care about liking or watching other people's content. And then Jason's actually the one that kind of taught me how to utilize the Instagram a little more. Like, show yourself, post the stories, you know, like, be active. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm just sharing a post and kind of getting off. Like, I don't even really know about anything. Like, I don't know about collabing or meeting other people that are in my niche. I don't even know what a niche is. So I really do owe a lot of credit to Jason for teaching me about social media also. He's the sensei right now. So he's the sensei. Jason honestly changed my life completely when it came to photography. Like I said, I didn't have a plan. I was in a really shitty spot in my life when I got the camera. Honestly, the camera probably saved my life because I would have never met Jason if I never started photography and would have never been here. But, like, yeah, so it was like it was the first of the year for me, actually. I was like, it's a new year, I'm going to try something new. I've been doing, at the time, I started doing self-portraits. So I was like, I'm going to try having someone else take my photos. I had seen Jason because he had a following already, so he ended up on my page too, you know. So I'm already watching and liking his stuff. So I even hit him up saying, like, what's your rate, dude? Like, I'll pay you for a shoot. Like, let's shoot. Like, I'm not good at modeling at all. Like, I'm a very transparent person. So I'm like, what's your price? Like, let's do a shoot. And he's like, oh, I'm not that expensive, but then never hits me with his price. So I'm like, got it, cool, dude, awesome. Man. I'm like, swag, awesome, cool. So he ended up posting a story like 2 weeks later saying, like, I need a model for a clothing brand. And it was like, the story, it's a good story. Yeah, tell me. The story, it was like 3 minutes ago. So I'm like, oh shit, no one has responded yet. So I'm going to be the first one. So I swipe up on the story. I'm like, I'll be there. I had the day off work because at the time I was working a normal job. So I'm like,
she didn't have the day off. She called, dude.
No, I had the next 2 days off, really randomly. It's really like all fate at the end of the day. Like I had the next 2 days off work, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. I lived about an hour away at the time, so I'm like, I'm gonna drive an hour to go shoot with him at 10 in the morning. Ended up being a fiasco day. Was super late to the shoot. Ended up still meeting me. Whatever. We clicked a lot. He had a friend that he was shooting a lot that was a model, and he's like, hey, I see you do photography. You want to come back tomorrow and like photograph my model friend? And I'm like, yeah, why not? I have the day off work. So I ended up going back the very next day, and we all ended up just hanging out and like making a really strong connection. Didn't even shoot any photos. Went rollerblading, broke my neck basically because I fell.
Literally broke your neck.
We really connected on the friend basis at that point. We embarrassed ourselves.
It was
we
love
talked.
At first fall, huh?
Yeah.
I thought she died at one
And then
point.
after that, we just connected.
She literally was.
No, it wasn't. It was definitely.
All right. But Jason, when you invited her back, were you thinking, dang, she was pretty cute?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Honestly,
I had to spit my, my player skills.
Oh shit! Okay.
The mojo.
yeah, definitely.
It was a weird situation though because when I met Jason, it was like 2 weeks before he was moving to California for the first time and was making that move. So when we first started talking, there was like a 6-month period where he was living in California and we were just like FaceTiming and.
What the fuck? You guys are tripping me the fuck out because this is our story.
Really?
This is mine and my girlfriend's story.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she came through. She came through for a photo shoot. But I didn't charge them. I was like, you know what? I won't charge them.
I feel you.
But so we took her photos. Or actually, we set up like we were like thinking of the idea. We're like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, and never took a shoot. Never did it. And I was like, I never hit her up again.
I feel that.
I was like, nah, I'm good. But to be honest, like there was just so much shit going on. I was like, oh shit, oh yeah, fuck the shoot, right? And then we didn't end up doing it. I moved to Texas for a while.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And then we're long distance for a little while. up until I came back, and now we're here.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's super similar.
And she does clothing. She literally like sews clothing.
Very
like,
cool.
And like embroiders, and like it's fucking lit. And Nasty Co drop soon. Nasty Co Collective, get your fucking sweaters. You know what it is. So we got that shit going on too, bro.
Chief.
Yeah.
Get them.
I'm telling you, man. We trying out here for real. And I mean, just like, I think it's time to like understand that we ain't gotta like break our fucking backs for fucking $16 an hour type of shit, you know?
100%.
So it's like people are out here like willing to pay you $100 for just a little simple shoot. So it's like, get your money, you know?
That's what I've learned. You can't make $1 million working 9 to 5.
You can't.
But as entrepreneurs, as us, you know, we have to like. You're not just selling your pictures, but you're selling an experience.
Yep.
So like, I've had artists come up to me and they're like, "Yo, we really fuck with you because you have a cool vibe." So like, photography is not just how well you can shoot; it's how well you can relate to other people. Yeah. And like, I can take someone to church, or I can take them to the strip club. You know, I can do both.
Yeah.
And that really sets aside because it is a half and half game. Like, it's not just the pictures. Like, if you want people to come back to you, at least, you know, you can shoot them once and be done.
Definitely. It's definitely like, character in this.
They'll be like, oh, we had that nerdy kid, or do we like that cool Jason kid, you know, or something like that, you know.
And even your photos, like, say it all, too. It's like, because you build, like, your personality the more and more people you're around, you know.
Yeah.
You notice that as well. Like, the more and more shoots that you're at, you're, like, kind of noticing and reflecting back on your life because you're listening to their stories sometimes, you know. And 100%. that's what happens a lot of the times is that we have a shoot and then the person like ends up like spilling like a story out, and I'm just like, wow, like that's going on in your life. That's crazy.
100%.
You know, so I really do like that too. And the only thing is that like the social media game is kind of like scary at a certain point too, because you are building a big following and a lot of people are watching you move every step. You know? So and a lot of people want to be you. You know, when you do make it up there, a lot of people want to be you. So it's like, there's a lot of envy in the air at a certain point, you know?
100%.
But there's always negative and positives to everything. So it's like, you just have to watch your back. You just have to watch, like, what kind of community you're building, what kind of, like, energy you're putting out, you know? And I think at the end of the day, it's just all about, like, doing what you love. You know, the photos come out, like, the best when you're, like, really happy about, like, your craft, you know? When you're not just trying to rush a photo shoot out, you know? So at this point in life, it's just like, do what you love, you know?
Exactly. That's what we try to do. Because I'm working a 9 to 5 job.
Jason actually also convinced me to quit my regular job
after.
Jason's been a very large influence in my life for the past 3.5 years now.
So Nina,
she worked at Chipotle.
She worked at like some food place, and I was like, really, like.
He was like, you take way too good photos.
Yeah, I was like, you could at least make money. So I was like, just like, quit your job, come stay with me, let's fuck some shit up.
Wow.
And it took a while. I mean, we went through some really bad shit. I remember, like, we were staying in hostels, trying to make it out in LA, and we were sleeping on. I don't want to say it.
This part of the story's hard.
But
oh, man.
we went through some really, really rough shit to try to get to where we are now. So it was all about taking risks. Cause
oh my God.
If we didn't take the risk.
We'll have to tell you off camera.
Yeah, I don't know if we can mention it on camera. But, I mean, some wild shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like one night you're hanging out with Nate Diaz, and next night you're sleeping in a hostel.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it was like all over the place.
Crazy,
and it was very, very, very stressful. And then, you know, we finally make it out to LA. Because I went there 4 times. I went there every January to, like, May since 2019. And my dad would book me a hostel for a week. I had $400. He bought my flight. And then I tried to see how long I could make it.
Wow.
And I usually lasted, like 4 or 5 months. And I would just make crazy connections. Because that's a big thing. So photography is being, like, a cool person, a good shooter, and the last one I was just going to say that I cannot remember.
Yeah, but all 3 of those. No, but definitely, no, for real, though, like, it is a lot about, like, based off who you are, you know?
Yeah, because you're providing the experience to be, like, on set with you as well as, like, your work. So it's, like, a whole value. Like, you're not just selling someone photos, you're selling them the whole, like, package. And that's what I feel like when people first start out with photography, they have a hard time deciding. Like, they're like, how much should I charge? Because they don't know what their value worth is yet. But then you get up. I've been working on this with Jason with my social media manager skills, trying to teach him that, like, his value. Like, I'm like, you have all these connections. Like, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to be here and here.
But it's hard because certain people, even though you put those prices, they're like, no, you don't have to work that much.
But then they're so not worth your time either at the end of the day.
That's true, though. That's very true.
Like, you're going to weed out. You're going to have, like, 20 people a day message you and maybe only one person books, but that one person is going to be word of mouth and go tell their friends who are in the same, like, price bracket typically.
Right.
And then their friends are going to be like, hey, I heard you did my friend's family shoot. Want to do mine? Like, loved the pics. Yeah. And that's how you get yourself, because at the end of the day, I've lived by this for a long time, is that you build your clientele base. If you shoot or with the same, like, group of people that whatever, then you're always kind of going to be around that. But if you, like, start expanding and you're like, okay, yeah, if you can leave a review on my page after the shoot, that would be so appreciated. Like, do things like that to kind of help yourself, then you'll always be expanding. Right. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to make, if you even want to, $10,000 off one photo. You just have to put that mindset out there. Because, like, you honestly create your own reality. Like, if you think in your head that my picture, oh, I'm only worth $100 for 25 photos, and then that's how much you're worth. But if you say, fuck no, I'm worth $10,000 for one dope-ass photo, then that's your reality. Right. So that's what I'm trying to teach Jason.
It's a hard
right
reality.
It
is. It's a hard reality.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
It is, man. I'm going to be real with you. But then it's like, it's because we're talking to the people who don't have $10,000 in their bank account to spend. Mm-hmm. You know right. I mean? It's because we're having conversations with different people who don't speak the same language. You know what I mean? That's the issue there. Yeah. That's why you can't translate it. But it's like, the issue is that we're still down here, you know? But once you do hit those connections and you do build that audience, then it is like
that was my third point that I forgot, was connections. Yeah. Connections have been the biggest thing. Like, I'm known as a photographer, but I'm also known, like, because I've grown my connections to link people up with other people to make things happen. And it's been like it's so corny because you always hear, oh, make connections, you know, think smarter, not harder. Yeah. You know, and, like, it's so corny, but, like,
it's true as
we've met some amazing people that have done some amazing things for us. You know, and I've been able to connect friends with clients and get them deals, and, like, just knowing as many people as possible will surpass you past 99% of other photographers.
Yeah, your connections are honestly probably the biggest thing.
It's the biggest thing ever, you know what I mean? Because that's how you land brand deals. That's how you connect with other influencers.
It's similar to the word of mouth, like when you're doing family photos, like I mentioned. It's the same thing when you're in an inner circle, because if you go shoot for someone, they can be like, oh, hey, remember that kid that shot our concert? Maybe we should bring him on tour. And then maybe you go on tour, and then they're like, oh, do you just want to be our photographer all the time? Like, you never know what will happen. And Jason kind of taught me that, too. Because at first, I'm like, I'm very businessy oriented, and Jason's, like, very crafty. So at first, Jason's like, it's all about connections. And I'm like, no, they need to pay us because we're worth something, and our work is value. Like, I'm all about, like, providing value.
That's true. That's true. But another thing about business is that money's not the only currency.
Yeah, and he taught me that. Credit back to Jason again for this one, is he taught me, like, to add in that, like, connections are. So now I'm fine with, like, honestly, this year I've been focusing on doing a lot more collab work and things I want to do, because when you are shooting for someone that's paying you, like, you're limited to what they want their photos to look like. Right. But if I decide to plan a shoot I pick the model for, even if I pay the model, if they're good, like a professional model, I wouldn't mind even doing that, you know, because everyone's work is worth something at the end of the day. So if I want to do that, I have a little bit more creative control. When it's a collab, I can be like, hey, I kind of want to do this, versus if someone's like, hey, I want to do a fall photo shoot, I'm going to wear this outfit, you know, it's a little bit different. So I've been kind of focusing on that a lot this year, now that we've been doing, like, the agency work and stuff.
Just a whole, like, creative director, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Because I love doing that a lot. I've been, like, helping Jason do that when he does shoots, just coming and, like, helping pose direct and whatnot, just being there.
So then, how you're saying you're the stylist for everybody? Do you ever, like, I seen one person make a Valentine's shoot, and they hired a florist. I don't know,
a florist, like,
a florist, and then they also hired, like, makeup and hair, and, like, they had, like, a whole mini shoot with that thing, you know, and I was like, wow, like, that's a pretty smart thing to do. That way you don't, you know, different things get taken care of,
and
then
that adds the value
photo.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what, like, it is, like, because when you're selling on eBay or something, you're not just gonna sell. Okay, if you sell, like, a PS4 by itself, that's cool. You'll get your money for the PS4. But if you sell PS4, then you got 2 games, and then you got like a microphone set.
Yeah, you got a bundle.
You know what I mean? Then it starts, now your value's up, and then that's like, honestly, how we be seeing like photography too is like, but the thing is that what's hard about it is that no one's telling you how to make the money. So that's why that's why they say we struggle with like financial literacy.
Oh yeah.
Because we don't know how to spend money, make money, and what's the last one? Okay, no, I'm like
spend more money.
We're the same right now.
Yeah, you'll remember just like I did.
Yeah, we'll be back. But no, yeah, definitely like because another saying is that weak men create strong times, and then strong times create weak men. You know, and vice versa. Because when you do get to that point, when there's like a guy that said like my dad or my grandpa walked 50 miles to work. It took him a long time to get there. And then his dad or his son, so my dad, walked 10 miles to work. And then I rode my bike to work. And then my son is now in a car to work. And then his son is going to be in a Ferrari. You know?
Okay.
But then his son is going to be walking again.
Right, in the cycle.
And that's how it'll be. But how can you break the cycle? By training your people that the money that I'm giving you is worth something, and like you need to go about it a certain way, you know?
100%.
So like when you do get money in your family and you create that generational wealth, it's like you're really putting a seed into like your future, you know?
Right.
So I guess that's what we're trying to build out here too. But like speaking of future, what do you guys have like planned for like the direction you guys are going into, like for your future for 2022, you know?
Yeah, what's our major goal for 2022?
A whole new year, bruh. 2022. That just sounds nice.
Yeah. We got a lot planned. We got we're going on like a mini tour with Benny the Jet. And,
shout out Benny the Jet.
Yeah, shout out Benny and Futuristic and
shout out Futuristic
all
too,
those guys, Codebreak and so
yeah,
we're excited to see all those
like
guys again. So we'll do that, and then we head off to Vegas for a week to shoot with some of our models from the agency.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
So that'll be really cool, and then yeah, that's it for travel so far. Well, like with us as photographers, like jobs pop up like randomly.
Definitely.
So like by tomorrow we could be booked out the whole month.
I actually just booked an elopement in Colorado today too for April. That should be pretty cool.
Wow.
But and that's what we basically have booked right now for the year.
That's crazy.
But we expect to travel quite a bit, just as much as last year.
Yeah. That's a great plan too, because like traveling and really like starting to see the different spots that we got, like man, awesome. Like the same spots that you be like shooting at, it gets a little like tiresome, you know, 100%. And you have to be a lot more creative.
You have to try to get as creative as possible.
Yeah, so having a new scenery and having like different things to work with, and just like it's just, man, your whole creativity, just even getting influenced by just seeing the scenery, that's already like creating your personality a little more, you know, you're developing yourself a little more. I think one thing I do want to get into in this year is film. I really
ask Nina about that. Ask her about it. Man, Nina's the film queen.
You're probably that's a whole interview.
She just got.
I was actually gonna. I was actually gonna bring this up earlier when you mentioned you were talking about how important it is, like coming up with the concepts and getting like those right shots when you're on like your shoots, like what you have coming up this weekend, like pre-planning. And I was actually going to suggest like a big thing that helped me to really be selective about my shooting was shooting film.
Right.
Because Jason over here, he is a great influence when it comes to photography. He is a trigger finger. He will nail that shutter down and take 10,000 photos on a shoot. But then, love Jason, but then I'm doing the editing, so I'm like, I gotta go through all 10,000 of these photos to find the best ones.
I do it on purpose.
He does it to keep me busy, I think, but whatever.
He's just like,
literally.
Nina's got a lot more work tonight.
I'm like, why am I the same? I didn't even move my hand a little bit, and there's like 70. I'm like, dude. But I actually got him a point and shoot, like just a film 1.2 to kind of help him learn about it. Because when I started, I just used a manual one, a Nikon FM, and that is just, everything's manual. You put the film in manual, put your focus manual, like everything, your aperture, ISO, everything is manual.
You started with
Too
that?
hard, I didn't want that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, actually, Jason's dad gave it to me when they were moving. He was like, here's my old film camera. But I ended up loving it, and I used it until it actually recently kind of broke, and then my boss got me a point and shoot. That was pretty sick for Christmas.
She got the one
your boss
got the one that Kylie Jenner uses, like that. It's an Olympus, I think it's called.
An Olympus?
It's like I was gonna bring it. Honestly, I'm so mad that I forgot it. I've been talking
wow.
about that.
It's from like the 80s, 90s, and they're super rare right now. So they're like they're pricey. So she got her hands on one, brand new, for over 20 years, and
he bought you that?
Yeah, my boss is cool. Shout out Danny.
Shout out Danny. We love you, Danny.
Shout out Danny Phantom, bro. Yeah. Hey, that's crazy, yo.
Yeah, Danny's
for real.
Cool. So Nina's been loving that film camera.
Yeah, that one's been pretty cool. It also has like a panorama mode, so you know how your phone like shoots like panorama on iPhone? You can do it on the film camera. It's pretty cool.
What's panorama?
Like, you know, on your iPhone, like here.
Whenever you like that, you take a long
picture. Okay. It's just like one long photo.
Yeah, like this feature where you go like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you can do it on the film camera, which is
interesting. I don't want to give game out because I want to get this for myself, but there's a camera that's a 3D film camera that it has
I know what you're talking about.
3 slots.
I do. It's a Nikon.
So there's 3, or maybe it's even more than
You know
3.
what sucks about those ones, though, is that
it?
So it, like, when you shoot film, it's easier to understand, but, like, your film strip, what it does is it essentially takes, like, a bunch of photos of that same frame, but, like, differently. Like, each camera takes a photo. So then when you do edit and post, you will have to, like, edit essentially like a video, kind of, and, like, put those frames together. Yeah, so
that'd be hard,
kind of a bitch. Because I've been scanning my own film recently.
That'd be fun as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. It takes 4 photos at the same time. It's, like, lined up. So it's, like, you get that 3D effect where it's, like...
Yeah, that's what we were looking at, that 3D effect the other night.
Yeah. They're not that expensive, too, so I'd suggest it. I think it takes $35.
I think it's like $100.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Not bad.
No?
Get it.
Oh yeah, I mean, camera game's a little expensive.
Yeah.
Film game is expensive though. Heads up. Like for a minute there, every time I was dropping my film off, it was like $250, and I'm dropping 6 rolls and buying 6. That was usually around.
Yeah, Nina had a problem with that.
Yeah, I've been chilling out lately.
No, honestly, that's why I done film where it's just like that point and shoot. But yeah, definitely it's because I'm like, damn, we gotta take it, and then I gotta wait, and then that's $30, $40.
But I actually started scanning my own film recently, so I don't have to pay for the scans at least. So now I just need to start the developing.
Okay.
And then I don't have to pay anyone else. So I'll just.
You think you'll ever get into that point, to the point where you're developing your own film?
Yeah, once I have because right now we live in an apartment, and I want to like maybe have like a separate like in a garage or something, or like a she shed situation where it's separate from the house, because the chemicals do make me a little nervous, but.
Oh yeah, I guess it's not good to like breathe in and shit. And
I mean, definitely not, bro.
I'm gonna be wearing like the whole like Walter White get up.
That's what I was like. Just pay someone else to do it. You don't need to do it.
Well, they're professionals.
There's definitely crackheads around here that got an RV that they can throw the chemicals in. You know, start developing some film. You know, they should do that instead. You know what I mean?
Honestly, profit right there.
That's a developing on the go. Someone start up an RV where they're just like hitting everybody. You know,
not bad.
I don't know if that many people would be shooting film, but...
Honestly, it's getting super freaking popular.
Really?
It's very popular now, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a TikTok
film prices just went up like $10 in the past like 6 months for $35, it feels like, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because usually like there's a 120 film, and that's usually more expensive than 35, and now it's almost cheaper than 35.
See, the big problem I have is that I can't stay with like... I need to focus, you know? I like to get too many things.
Doing that on the video.
You know what I mean? Like I like to do the photos, and then I like the video, and then I want to do the graphics, and then I want, and I'm just like, fuck, I gotta focus in on one thing real quick, and then just like give it my all, I threw a show recently with 8 artists.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
You put the show on yourself?
I put the show, all me, the promotion, all me, everybody paid by me.
Wow.
Straight up.
How'd it go?
It went great.
Great.
I think we got like 30 people there that night.
Nice.
That's all right. That's a good turnout.
Yeah,
first
definitely.
show. 21 years old. We out here.
Yeah.
You getting swifty.
So, shit. I had Johnny Mars there.
Nice. Oh, Tanner. We used to be roommates. Cool. Yeah.
So he was gonna headline the show, but we ended up doing the band. Sitting
okay.
There, it was a band that headlined the show. New
Very
Age
cool.
Crisis. Shout out.
I think I've seen some pictures from it already.
Yeah, actually, dude. Yeah. It was pretty cool, man. I wasn't too focused on the pictures, so they kind of turned out a little. But I was like just having a good time.
Yeah.
I was a little lit. I was yelling my ass off and shit.
Sometimes you just gotta vibe.
Yeah. I was like, man, I was a little nervous on stage, but I was like, the fact that like people are being like, woo, nasty. I was like, whoa, that's cool.
That's always a dope feeling.
I was like, that's what's up. But any last words for anybody out there, man, that's trying to be like this photographer on game? We got like 2 legends right here. So like, if any words to the youngin trying to like get on game with us and maybe like think about this as a career, or like just following the passion to have fun in it or something like that,
Yeah.
What do you got? What y'all got?
My advice would be start young.
Damn.
I started photography, I think, when I was 20. I was young. Like, I mean, not young, but like 23. I didn't get like to where I'm at till like I was 27.
Okay.
Like, I've only been on for like a couple years now.
Yeah, definitely.
But the thing is the grind, because like when you first start out, you're gonna take shitty photos, no matter what.
Yep.
And then once you learn and watch YouTube, I'd recommend like YouTube School, and just watching as many YouTube things, but also testing it out, because like me go out and shoot manual, taking me 5 minutes to change my settings, but then it made me faster and faster and faster. And then now it's second nature.
Practice makes perfect. Literally, like, that really is a
like the biggest thing for me, I would say, is practice. Use prime lenses.
Yeah, shout out.
Because that always gives you the bokeh. It's a little hack. Because everybody's like, oh, camera should I get? I'm like, yo, focus on a lens.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a camera yet.
That's true.
And the other thing I'd say is risk it for the biscuit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we got to stay hungry.
Like, when I went to LA, I had $400 and a hostel for a week, and I had tried to make something happen, and I knew a couple famous people already that I already linked shoots with, but it wasn't paid or anything. It was more promotional, get my name out there. And then doing that, I met a couple other people. They wanted to shoot. Then met somebody else. Then one guy started having to shoot for a whole couple weeks with him.
Yeah.
You know, and then he introduced us to super famous people, and they're like, "Oh, you shoot? Let's take photos." And then it was all then I learned the first time I was in LA, I learned that, like, they have open houses. They have a whole bunch of stuff, like, that entrepreneurs can go to and meet other people. Like, the biggest thing is get your name out there and then use your Instagram as, like, your portfolio. So, like, because they'll be like, oh, can I see some of your work? Show them the Instagram. And they're like, wow, you do some great work.
Yeah.
So that's how I've gotten a lot of gigs, is because, like, I get in conversations with these people. Right. I'm like, yeah, I'm a photographer. And then they say, let me see your work. And then you show them. They're like, oh, wow, let's work. Yeah. And then they're like, well, I know a buddy, I know somebody. And then it's like,
that word of mouth.
When your connection gets big, and then it grows. And then, like, I got into, like, some, like, high profile, like, shooters, like kids with like 10 million Instagram followers.
Dang.
You know, all through like word of mouth and all through social media. You know, it's all about posting, grinding, and when you first start out, you're gonna suck. Keep practicing. I look back at my photos that I first took that I thought were fire. Total garbage.
Gotta try it again.
You know, but the thing is, you just gotta keep practicing.
Yeah.
And then find your niche. You know what I mean? Because a lot of photographers kind of shoot the same. So you got to stand out somehow.
Yeah, because you're learning from what you see. You know?
Exactly.
So definitely,
and then
you just got to find your style, man.
Yeah, and then follow people that inspire you. I think that's a.
That's a big one too. Don't be following people that just like take selfies and shit about themselves.
Exactly.
If that's like the kind of way you're trying to go, if like you're trying to really take that serious, you know, don't be following just people that take selfies and stuff, because you're trying to focus in on art. You're trying to focus in on like getting your mind thinking. So use social media not for a social platform, I would say, but more as an inspirational, like
100%, kind of like Pinterest.
Yeah, Pinterest is a great fucking app to use.
Everyone use Pinterest.
Yeah, I mean every creative, that's a hack right there. If you're not using Pinterest already,
Pinterest,
like,
highly recommend
Pinterest. Some good ideas.
You should post on Pinterest too.
100%.
Post your work on Pinterest. I have 300,000 monthly views for no reason.
Wow.
Just from Pinterest.
From random things like birthday photo shoot.
See, the thing I'm getting about you is you're just putting that little hustle, that little like extra hustle that's needed to like post on these each.
It's mostly because I have insomnia, so I don't sleep at night, so I just post on the internet.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I just edit videos at 3 in the morning, so and I put them on the internet. So,
fuck it.
I wake up and
I'm like YouTube Short, Pinterest, TikTok, everything. Bet. Like what is it? Snapchat Spotlight, everything.
Oh man, yeah, that's everything upload as fuck too. But that's your.
But yeah, definitely utilize social media these days.
What are your words?
I would say that you utilize social media as much as possible, whether that be the Snapchat Spotlight, YouTube Short, TikTok, Pinterest. I also use stock photo websites that even on the stock
photo website, like Unsplash.
Yes, and they have like Unsplash? Donations on there though. And we've had people donate for using
I'm not.
Bro, you know what Unsplash is, right?
No.
So Unsplash is a website that people post like stock photos or any kind of photo you want, right?
Okay.
And it has a trending page. So if your photo gets accepted and then you get accepted to the trending page, you just rake in views. Like, I think I just hit 150 million total views on my pictures.
And then there's also one called Pexels, too.
And people donate money.
I seen you guys post about that one.
Yeah, Pexels is big because we got verified on that, which was dope.
My friend's like a moderator.
Yeah, so he
was the one that was like, dude, you need to get on
but
this.
Pexels is like the new Unsplash. But I just stick with Unsplash because I've already got to 150 mil. I think I got like 7 mil on Pexels, so I'm just not,
Dang, yeah.
I'm sticking with the Unsplash.
I think my thing is right now is I'm trying to really focus in on like how to be a better photographer.
Yeah, that's the thing I try to do with Unsplashes is because like they take like any photo. So you could take a picture of just this microphone, and if it's super clean, it would trend. Wow. And then you'd see it on websites like
microphone websites.
And
then sometimes if a big enough company, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to donate him $100.
Yeah, we've gotten some donations. It's pretty dope. Yeah, people
just recently,
from,
actually,
India
this last year,
stuff,
like I need to get on this, yo.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
It's usually only like $5 or $10, but that's still nice.
$5 or $10. That's
nice.
Like, my goal is always try to upload one photo a day on Unsplash because I want it to trend.
Yeah.
And because
did you do that for a minute?
I try as best I can, but it's like it's an odds game for me. If I have 150 million views, just think of how many people are gonna start donating now that they have the option.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I can go up 150 million views, just $1 from everybody. You know what I mean?
We out here.
So I mean that's a huge thing. You just because you're giving up your photo rights, right? Like you give up the rights to the photo.
So you can't go back and sell that photo later.
Or you could to somebody who doesn't know it's on the website. But like people can use it for articles. They use it for whatever they want. But you're gaining exposure. Like somebody put Nina on the front cover of a book.
Wow.
We've been on like BuzzFeed, Thought Catalog.
Have you been like collecting these like images of like what you've been on?
Well, I emailed the lady.
They have the statistics. It'll show you your statistics.
Yeah, it shows you like if you got featured on BuzzFeed.
Anything, because usually they'll credit you. If
you
look up Jason's name on YouTube, a lot of it's like pictures of me on people's like
Nina's
cover.
pictures all over for YouTube
honestly,
covers.
A lot of the photos are me on Jason's because he doesn't
just on some like type beats or whatever.
Yeah, like
there's some dope songs. There's one with like 1.8 million views, and it's
pretty good. It's a pretty good one too. We'll bump it every once in a while.
Yeah, we bump it once in a while.
But literally, a lot of Jason's Unsplash is just pictures of me. So like, I'm basically famous on his, but nobody knows it's me because it's through Jason's name.
But I would recommend to like photographers though to start posting on Unsplash. 100%.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
Because you never know who's gonna see your photo. You never know.
Yeah.
Like you get maybe 70 views on the photo because it doesn't trend. But who of those 70 people like could that have been?
And the amount of people that download it, like literally probably like 2 million people have a photo of me downloaded on their phone, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I have 600,000 downloads, so most pictures of you anyway. But like it's just crazy way to get your name out there.
Yo. Hey man, that's for real. Some game that we all need to be on, bro. And if y'all ain't doing that, then y'all ain't serious about what y'all doing.
Exactly.
That's how it be.
Just share your work and keep going.
Because I had buddies that hit me up and they're like, "Oh, dude, you'll never land a gig from Unsplash because you're giving away your photo."
Yeah.
And Apple actually bought one of my pictures, and it's in the Taiwan App Store right now. My picture is of Anthony Maldonado.
Wow.
It's a picture of him somewhere we took downtown, and Apple, I posted it to the Unsplash. They emailed me, and I thought it was a scam, like my friends messing with me. And it was real, and she's like, I'll pay you this in exchange for that photo for 4 years. And I was like...
Wow, and they gave you a limit, too.
And there was a lot of paperwork, like, a lot of paperwork. And so they get to use it for 4 years, and it's in the Taiwan App Store, and it's so that was, I mean, like, and then Ubisoft hit me up from Unsplash, and they wanted me to come out to Quebec to shoot for a new video game. But, like, I don't know if they're repeating people or...
bro.
You got to get on the site.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to hit that shit up as soon as
And then people they'll tweet at you, they'll say thanks for the photo, or, like, people post... They'll, like, take my photo, and they'll make a drawing of it. And then they'll draw the picture and then tag me on Instagram, and some of them were pretty fire.
Yeah, there's some really cool ones.
Wow,
yes, we have a whole archive of just like fan art that people turned our photos into something else.
Wow, yo, we need to get on this game, bro.
Unsplash, bro. My thing would be like post 1-2 photos every day.
So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming through to the studio, giving us a little insight in you guys' life. You know, it was really needed for the community and the fucking culture out here that we're really trying to build. But shout out to y'all. And we really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you having us.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you very much. Doses. All right. And that's a wrap.